another edition of Joe's News and Views, also known as Conservative News and Views Minute. You know how I do my mini beats. So, if you guys haven't heard or been hearing around the campfire, we've been hearing about the Republican, aka the establishment, have been always talking about a third party. Now, at first, there's been speculation the third party was coming from the move from the establishment about uh, Donald J. Trump wanting to make a patriot like party. We talked about it, but then there's been, talks that he decided to kind of wait and see how things turn out with the current sham of an impeachment for the second time. Then, now there is talks of an actual third party, but it's not coming out of the Donald J. Trump supporters or from the Donald J. Trump American Way uh, movement. This is actually coming from former conservatives who have served on the Ronald Reagan administration, on the George H. W. Bush and George W. Bush, which is I call his son administration. These are the actual conservatives who have more of the deep state values. Okay. The establishment values. They're the ones who are very old school and centered. They pretty much all about trying to make sure that they keep these Democrats, aka Rhinocrats, happy and gooey inside, so they can further their political gain in careers, endorsements, the whole nine. Now, one of these, a part of the administration, there were a good bit about a 100 plus former and former administration Republicans that are still got a lot of political pull and connections. Thursday had a Zoom call about going forth and trying to make this new party. Now, they're kicking this idea because they feel like in their mind that the current establishment did not put Donald J. Trump in his place. He didn't spank him enough to make him stop going against the grain and play along with the rules of the establishment. So their plan is to come up with a party that they want to have that is more conservative incentive, that basically tells any conservative that is a part of them or their movement of Washington, hey, you cannot say this, you cannot do that, you have to play this, you have to play that, and you have to kiss the feet of the liberal, uh, aka the deep state. So that way they can feel warm and fuzzy inside. Now, this is going to really make you laugh. If they decide to go along with this, they're kicking ideas of possibly calling it the Integrity Party or the I want to say the Republican Senate party. Don't put my word on the Senate party. But if it doesn't work, if they decide that it could cause more of a uproar, I guess, in the current Republican Party, then they will actually work as a inside or outside faction. Something like the progressives are doing right now in the Republican Party. I mean, in the Democratic Party, with their explosive ideas and off the wall allegations. Here's my analysis of this, guys. It sounds like to me that the Republican Party, the actual original old school establishment, is running scared because these are the people that kind of have the same values as John McCain. And don't get me wrong, I respect the late Senator John McCain for being a prisoner of war and getting involved in politics and trying to make it a little bit more, try to put in the work of trying to make his district and his area better. But again, he also had his flaws. But that's another topic for another day. I feel like that the Republican Party, these old school old heads, are not understanding that the Republican Party is going into another direction, a direction where you have Americans who are actually, are looking at the actual inner workings of American politics, that are looking at the inner workings of the government, and is willing to go out here and say, listen, we have an issue. We need to get this addressed. We need to handle this. And I feel like personally that this is scaring the hell out of these older Republicans, because they're used to America being blind, America not asking the question, not being involved in politics, not having alternative information that they can actually rely on and get answers, right? Because bloggers like myself and other bloggers are giving them the rundown, the skinny. And like I said, they're scared. This is freaked them out. So now the whole goal is, okay, why don't we just make a third party? They feel like that's going to be the answer. But it's not. It's actually going to make the Republican Party even worse. Because, see, when you make a third party right now with what's going on in the Republican Party, and you're not standing up for the patriotism of the new school uh, Republicans slash conservatives that are in office right now, who is trying to fight for the American people, who are trying to be the voice of what real Americans think out there, who want to have the opportunity to have these jobs, to have the opportunity to take care of their children, to not have big government involved, to enjoy freedom of speech, to enjoy the Second Amendment, to enjoy the things that has made America great, to be able to serve their religious beliefs without being crucified or being surrounded by SJW bullshit. If you go and make this third party that are going to ride along with everything, I mean everything, that the deep state wants, because that's what it sounded like to me that's going to happen, then guess what? We are no longer going to be there. It's not going to be the Republican Party no more. It's going to be the liberal party that is more centered for entertainment purposes only. That's what, yeah, I was gonna say entertainment, smoking mirrors, entertainment is smoke and mirrors only. I mean, that's just facts. Now, what I feel like and hoping that happens is, I still hope that if this comes to fruition, that they start a third party, Trump or anyone out of the Donald uh, era go ahead on and move forward and come up with a party that based upon patriotism and making sure that the American people Second Amendment right is not invaded. Because I'm telling you guys now, if they go forth with this third party or even this type of infection in the Republican Party, where the Republican Party is almost in tatters right now because there's no togetherness, the peaking of the over dramatic and evil and progressive and in radical left, we are not going to have a party. It's going to self-destruct, and it's going to be like that for the next 10 plus years. If they go with this third, I want to make sure that we are part of the establishment that kisses the deep state with love and gratitude. And it's just being real, y'all. I'm being realistic because this doesn't make any sense. It's not gonna do any good for the party having a third party of centrist Republicans. Because it's basically telling me that we're gonna have a bunch of weak ass conservatives that not gonna speak up. They're gonna be scared to. They're only going to speak up when it's convenient for them. It's like, all right, I can speak up about this topic. I can push the envelope here, and I still have sponsors. But I'm not going to shut my mouth. Bipartisan. Okay, Democrats, this is all you. We gonna shut our mouth and not do anything, and that is what's going to happen. I see it now because right now, the era we in, we do not need old school Republicans. They're not going to work. That's the problem now. Everybody's trying to be traditionally conservative, and with on a politician base, and what we got going on right now with this establishment. I mean, with this establishment and the deep state, it ain't gonna work. We need someone who is going to stand up for the American people and speak out on the issues that are plaguing our system right now. And what's plaguing our American people is the following issues. We have women's sports being imposed, being threatened and invaded by transgender men wanting to play the sport. And they're trying to play it as this is a human rights situation. When in genetics, it has shown in science, we can look it up, we've studied it in biology for years, that the male anatomy is way stronger than a woman's anatomy. Now, with me saying that, I'm just letting you know I am not against the LGBTQ plus question mark community. Whatever they want to do in their lives, that's up to them. Okay? But I'm not doing any pronouns, and I'm definitely not going to support anything that's going to make it unfair for naturally born women who also have fought for their rights as well. Now, granted, everybody has said it. I've said it too. If we got transgender, their own division of sports, starting with high school, and then go from there for college, for them to compete, then yeah, we see how it plays out and go from there. But we already know that the establishment and also the deep state are not going to go with that, because in their mind, they're going to play the whole, well, we got to show human rights and equality, which again is really asinine. So I just feel like, and I ain't no feel, I know that this third party coming from a anti-Trump slash we want to be all conservative and political to the hip new party that they're trying to come up with is not going to work. It is going to cause more resentment, and it's going to cause people to leave the actual Republican Party. It's going to cause real people to go out here that are real conservative values and have these ideas start their own party. Yeah, I got you. My man said 20 years ago, girls couldn't play with boys. They would be a distraction and cause injury to themselves. And the uh, now we need three teams, girl, boys, and open. Then everyone knows what they are signing up for. Exactly. I'm with you 110%. And I think the reason why, H May, you'll never see that happen, because due to the fact of the matter that if we were to have three teams, people would be very upset. Well, let me rephrase that. The reason why they don't want to do three teams, because they already know that having an open team like that, they're not going to get a lot of these uh, colleges to look at these transgender athletes that are born natural male, because they're gonna be like, I'd rather just stick with having the natural girls. So they're doing that because in their mind, if I put a transgender boy, a transgender female with a natural female team, then you know everybody has a shot. But nobody does it, because if you got a top performing female who runs track, who does all the necessary training she's supposed to over the summer, it ain't gonna do her a bit of good, because she's got this dominantly natural male who is 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". He ain't even got to be in 6 feet. He can be 5'8", 5'9". That's going to destroy them, because they are bigger, stronger, more stamina, the whole nine. So it's not going to work. It's going to cause a lot of heartache. You got a lot, and you know what's sad is a a lot of these people that voted for Joe Biden that are liberals, and I've seen this on calls the past couple of days, they don't realize this. They don't know that type of information. All the thing they know is, well, they said transgender have the right to play sports, but when you talk to them about, well, do you know that for them to have the right to play sports, that you're going to have a transgender female who does not have, that still have her natural male parts, changing clothes in the locker room with your daughter, who's going to be competing against your daughter, they start freaking out because they're like, whoa, I didn't know that, or you're lying. Well, we're not lying. We're telling you the truth here. This is what's going on. And H, man, if you like that, like my content, you can subscribe, and you can also check out my YouTube, which is Joshua Joel Davis at uh at Joel Davis Media Network on YouTube. Joel Davis Media Network on YouTube. So I need to know what you guys think. Do y'all think that having a centered, uh, old school conservative party going to help out the current issues with the uh, establishment, or do you think that having a more centered conservative party gonna do nothing but make more conservatives leave and stop supporting the Republican Party and actually fight for their own party? Get in the comments. Tell me what y'all think. Thank y'all for your time. Take care of yourself and each other. I'm heading on to worky. Be easy.